Welcome to this demo of TZ1, TradeZero's newest web-based platform. Let's get straight into it. So to launch TZ1, you're going to go ahead and jump into the portal and you are going to click Launch TZ1 below the trade dropdown. This is TZ1. I'm going to go ahead and reset the layout just so we begin at the same place. But you're looking at our newest platform, web platform based, Mac OS, any platform that supports web browsers. So Mac, Windows, Linux, you can jump on TZ1. The URL itself is going to be tz1.tradezero.com. So you can access it that way, or you can access it through the portal. I'm just going to go ahead here and begin from the top left. Let's get started talking about the layout system in TZ1. Now, TZ1 is just like Zero Free, Zero Web, Zero Pro in the fact that it allows you to execute trades, etc. But the ideology around TZ1 is that we are looking to essentially create a platform where it's not just about execution, it's also about research, giving you those ideas and allowing you to make your own decisions based on the information that we have in the platform. And so let's start off with the layout system. So as you can see here, I have a number of windows open. So I've got my watch list, my portfolio. In the top left, I've got charts, option chain, order tickets, market depth, time and sales, orders, locates, and news. There's a whole bunch of other windows, which we're going to cover in a second. But let's just talk about how you arrange your windows, right? So let's start off with a blank canvas. So this little tool here in the top left allows you to pretty much go through a bunch of different preset layouts. So let's go from complete blank and we'll build ourselves a nice layout here. I'll start off with the account summary. So everyone needs an account summary. I'm going to throw it on my screen here. All you can see on my screen is account summary right now. I'm also going to grab two charts, stick them over here. In fact, I will actually stick this one down here like so. So now I've got account summary up top, charts down below. The charts are powered by TradingView, and you can go ahead and do a number of things. You can buy and sell from the chart. You can pretty much do anything from the chart that you can do from the order tickets. But we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's continue with our layout. So I'm going to grab another chart over here, and we're going to place it on the right. I'm going to put the left chart on the blue group, and the right chart is going to go straight onto the yellow group, like so. I'm going to go grab some order tickets to submit orders. I'll place those above the charts. So now you can see I've got two separate interfaces or two separate sections on my interface, the blue group on the left and the yellow group on the right. The grouping system works just like it does on Zero Pro, Zero Free, etc. and allows me to have two different symbols pulled up. So I'm going to pull up the apple on my blue group. As you can see here now that I have the lovely apple charts on the left and the SPY charts on the right. Let's see what else we can pull in. Let's pull in the options chain. Grab another options chain and we'll throw it over here. Change this to the yellow group, like so. And there we go. We now have two completely different workspaces for me to be able to trade both equities and options on Apple and SPY. Let me just switch this one back to SPY real quick. SPY. As you can see, all my charts now on the right are SPY, and on the left, I've got Apple. So that's a very quick demonstration of how the layout system works. Now, there's plenty to see, plenty to play with. What we'll do next is we'll just go through the settings and everything you see on the top bar of the application, and then we'll go through individual widgets, and then we'll talk about trading and execution of those trades. Let's talk about the top section. So you can see here, I've got two workspaces, trading and research. If I click into research, it's a whole separate workspace. If I click into trading, again, whole separate workspace. So you might want to set up your trading space for execution and your research space for anything related to research, for example, scanners, top list, news. Next up, as we just saw, the layout system is here and the add widget system is right here. You can go ahead and grab one of these and drag them pretty much anywhere you like. So that's now showing me the market depth for SPY. That's a level 2. But I'll close that out for now and we're going to jump into the search. So if I just jump back to the trading tab here, you can see that I am currently looking at Apple in my layouts. But if I just drag one more chart onto the screen, I'm going to change this to the yellow group. So we have two charts. So I'm now going to jump into my search. And what I can do is I can switch the groups to various symbols. So I'm going to switch the SPY group, the blue group. We'll go ITRM. So ITRM. I'm going to click the little blue button here, or the little blue circle, and it goes ahead and it switches all blue groups to ITRM. So you can also add your stocks to your watch list by clicking on the heart icon. So Squawk, we have a audio stream here. Pressing play, I'm able to hear audible news alerts, completely factual, no opinions. It's just a news audio feed. It's a guy who basically reads out the news. Up top, we've got the account info. So all my account vitals, buying power, account value, available cash, options cash used, use leverage, etc., all the way down to my profit and loss for the day at an account level. Over here, we have my open orders. So if I were to submit an open order right now, so let me just go to QQQ over here. I'm going to do this. Let me just close this chart down here. And if I press buy, we go for a limit order. I'm going to put it in below the market just so we can create a pending order. That's buy. There we go. So you can see on my chart now, I have a pending buy order for 1 share of QQQ. I can move it up and down, press replace. And you see there, it moves to the new limit price. If you look at the top right now, you see the newly created active order. It's pending. I can go ahead and modify the order. I can cancel the order. And I can also look at my order history from here as well. So for this order, I'm going to go ahead and cancel it. Cancel the order. And you see there, I get a nice little toast notification saying that it's been cancelled. Next up, we have the help menu. So we've got a few different buttons you can press here. I won't go through them all, but FAQs, live sessions, and a blog. We've got chat with support. So I can directly chat with support from TZ1 itself. So if I go ahead and enable it, and you see down here to the bottom right, I'll get a little widget, and I'll go ahead and enter my account number here. This is a test account. I'll enter my name. I'll enter my email address. .com. I'll choose a department. Hey, just checking the chat works. And in 2 seconds, you'll see a response from a chat support member. So you see here, Shivam has logged on. And within about 10 seconds, is about to reply to me. So any issues I've got, I can directly access support within a matter of seconds. Thanks, Shivam. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and terminate the chat. And we can move on. Feedback. Let us know about your experience and fill in this little form here. Next up, we have feature requests, which is a pretty similar entry box. And we have a take a tour function as well. Over here, we have a couple of settings. Go to website. We have hotkeys, which we'll touch on in just a second. We also have the settings of the platform. So skip order confirmations, skip cancel all confirmation, etc., and some appearance-based settings as well. Can users trade on TZ1 using multiple screens? Yes, the answer is yes. So right now, TZ1 is limited to a web platform. However, we do have this pretty cool pop-out functionality where if I want to pop out a window, a widget to one of my screens, I can go ahead and do that. So if I press this little pop-out button here on the order ticket, it will pop the order ticket out and I can move it to a different screen. And so it's pretty unlimited in terms of how many windows you can have. It depends on your memory on your PC or laptop, but I could definitely go ahead and put it over to multiple screens. Once I close it, it returns to TZ1. And it's back and I can continue using it as I was. And what you can do, what's interesting to do is you can put it out. You can then throw something else where that widget was. And now, even though it does exist in TZ1, I can still use the space for something else. Can you also adjust replace orders from the active orders overview or only from the graph? Absolutely, you can. So let me go ahead and show you that. I'm just going to quickly pull this over here. And we're going to submit a limit order, 607.91 again. Buy. You can see here my order confirmation does show. So I'm going to press submit order. So if I just pull this down a little bit, you can see I'm going to replace it from the chart itself, just like I did before. But I'm going to go ahead and replace it from my active orders tab. So in the orders widget, I'm going to press this button here. What it does is it turns the ticket into replace mode. I can then change the price on the actual ticket itself. So we're going to go from 52 cents to 29 cents. Hit replace, submit order, 607.29. So that's how that works. I can go ahead and cancel this from the chart itself. I can cancel it from the active orders widget. And I'm going to go ahead and press cancel here. Cancel that. And once I've done that, I can go ahead and submit orders from the chart itself. So I can go ahead and press buy QQQ at 607.18 limit. It populates the order ticket for me. I press buy, submit, there it is. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that order now. I can also sell. So of course, in this context where I don't have a position, I can go ahead and press sell for also short. Of course, if it's a hard to borrow stock, you will need locates. But in this case, QQQ is easy to borrow. So you could go ahead and short directly from the chart. You can also press create a new order, etc., etc. During lines, all the tradingview.com functionality that exists with the charting interface does also exist in TZ1. Let's take a look at some other windows. I'm going to start off with the scanner. Fully customizable. You guys can put this anywhere you like. You can even open up the research tab, clear this entire tab, have a chart like so, and throw a scanner down below. So I've got a chart up top and a scanner down below. So I'm now using the research workspace. If I'm in the pre-market and I'm looking for stocks that are getting volume, I'm looking for where shares are hitting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to the volume 1 minute. I'm going to set this to a minimum of about, we'll say 100K. I can use the drop down, or I can go ahead and use the custom entry, and I might go 50,000. So that's saying a minimum of 50,000 shares having hit in the last 60 seconds, a rolling 60-second period. I also only want to trade things which have a share float of below 100 million. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up as well. I'm going to collapse this now. And you'll see here, I'm getting a number of results. I'm going to sort this based on the volume, 1 minute. And you can see here that CRML, DCGL, and LPTX are all the highest volume tickers in the last 60 seconds. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and click this, CRML. That looks to be in a bunch of halts. Don't really want to talk about halts right now or look at a stock that's halting up and down. So you can see here clearly from the chart, I've clicked LPTX. This morning it had news about Treasury or something like that, some sort of Bitcoin news. It's since come down by quite a bit. So if I go to the 5-second chart here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my volume and I'm going to move the volume down to a pane below. So it separates my volume from the actual chart itself. Make this a little bigger here so I can see both the scanner and the chart. And you can see here that in the last 60 seconds, we're getting a fair bit of volume hitting this ticker LPTX. And so let me move on to ONMD, for example. ONMD, we're getting every these are 5-second candles. So I'm getting 40, 50K per 5-second candle, which is pretty measurable. It just shows you what's going on in the market right now. Let me switch to scan over now to do something else instead. So we're going to go, instead of volume 1 minute, we're going to go change percent 5 minutes. And we're going to go a minimum change over the last 5 minutes of 4%. And it's going to show me the tickers which have increased by at least 4% over the last 5 minutes. The only three tickers in this case would be LHSW and CRML. So CRML, of course, like I said, has been holding up and down, but in the past 5 minutes, it has risen by 10%. So that is how the scanner works. So I'm going to go ahead and close that now and go back to the trading tab. Let's take a look at some more windows. So market depth window, bottom right, you can see I've got my level 2 showing here for QQQ. If I switch over to the scanner, go ahead and set up a similar scan to what I set up before. Really simple, 10K, and that's it. So CRML, if you look at the level 2 here, you can see the full level 2, just like in our other platforms, etc. And the time and sales as well, shown right here. So that is that portfolio right here, top left. I'm going to go ahead and move this to the bottom of my, where can I move it? Should we go over here? We'll go over there. So I'm going to sandwich this right at the bottom of my screen. And I'm going to use this button here. And that's going to show me my positions, etc. And close this. Auto fit columns to full width. And now I have a nice view of my actual positions. So I've got Apple, BlackBerry, STSS, and TSLA. And we can go ahead and see the closed positions. Auto fit these as well. What I'll do now is I'll go ahead and close a position. So in Apple, so I'm going to go here. You see my positions on the chart right now. It shows my average price of 257.65. And if you look into here, so I can go ahead and press close position. And that will close the position out with a market order. It will now appear in my closed positions tab, as you can see here. So that is the portfolio. Like the fundamentals window. Let's take a look at this. So fundamentals is essentially our new window across all our platforms, which shows you the fundamentals of a stock. So in this case, we've got Apple pulled up, but let's move over to ESPR. Every day we have new symbols hitting. And so in this case, ESPR, Esperon Therapeutics, is a pharmaceutical company, etc., etc. Gives you a quick look into what they do. And then you can view things like shares outstanding, floats, etc., etc., including short interest ratio and short interest as well. We have the market movers window, which we won't go through right now. We have a stock calendar. I'll just make this slightly wider here. So you can see here that we have the earnings, splits, and IPOs for symbols that TradeZero covers. First, we got quote details. So the quote details window will essentially give you an overview for a few items around stock. So it might be helpful for some of you guys. Close this out. Newsfeed. So the newsfeed, very similar to other platforms. We've got symbol-based news, so news for this specific symbol, ESPR. And we have market news, so news across all symbols, regardless of the symbol that it's currently based on in terms of the window. I can go ahead and click a window here. If I just go ahead and scroll through, you'll find articles, etc. Locates. This is a big one for a lot of people. So I'm going to reset my whole layout just because it's getting quite busy. But we have CRML. I'm going to hit locate, and we're going to wait for the response from the server. I can go ahead and purchase 100 shares worth of locates for $1. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. There we go. I purchased 100 locates. And now this gives me the right to short 100 shares of this hard to borrow stock. If I want to short one share, I can go ahead and hit short. I'm going to go ahead and do a limit order. And I'm going to increase the price. There we go. Short one share. Submit. It's created a pending order. Now what I can do is I can cancel that. And I can just short the market for one share. Short, submit order. There we go. I'm now short CRML for one share. And to close the position out, I can go to cover over here. Like so. I'll hit cover and I'll submit order. And I'm covered. I'll look at my closed positions. I had a short position and I had a long position. Closed the long position out for 7 cents. And I have just closed the short position out for 6 cents. That's the locates window. You can see the number of locates you have available. You can credit back your locates by clicking this action here. I can cancel the credit by clicking cancel. But in this case, I'm done with my CRML locates. So I'm going to call it a day and close out the locates window again. You can pop this window out, for example, move it to a different screen. But in my case, I am done with the locates window. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Options chain. Let's talk options chain. So you can see here that I have my options chain pulled up. I'm going to switch the symbol. If I jump over into the options chain, we use the same order ticket for both equities and options orders. If I go ahead and click the bid or the ask, we'll go 215 strike. You can see here, if I just switch back to the chart, this is the options strike chart. So this is the 215 chart itself. The contract is valued at 660 right now. I can go ahead and purchase this contract through the same order ticket, which we've been using all this time for equities. I can go ahead and do this, price. We might create a pending order. I'll press buy, submit. Well, that's how you would purchase an options position in TZ1. I'm going to place the hotkey deck just under my order ticket, make it a little smaller, like so. And we're going to go ahead and go into my hotkeys here. I've got template one. We're going to call this something else. We're going to call this buy 100 markets. Update name. Now, of course, there's many permutations of hotkeys, but this is a real simple one. Control one. I'm going to make it a buy. We're going to set it to market 100. And we're going to mark it as auto send. And I'll go ahead and save changes. I might make this one share actually, or 10 shares. Guarantee it fills. Get rid of this, make it 10 shares, update name. So you can see here that I've got this in my deck itself. I can add it to the deck by grabbing it, putting it there, and saving the changes. I'm just going to go with one. Let's go to CRML. We're going to purchase 10. So I've hit the hotkey. It's immediately brought up the confirmation window, and that's buying 10 shares at the market by cents, and I'm in. Right, so you can also have panic buttons, etc. But in my case, I'm going to panic and exit using the chart itself. We're out. Order history shows you the full history of my positions and my orders that I've sent. In that case, you saw I sold 10 at the market with a price of 11.54. What type of orders can be placed? From the order ticket, we can send market orders, and you can see here's a little tooltip to show you exactly how they work. Limit orders with a tooltip, etc., etc. Stop market, stop limit, market close, and limit close. Range orders do exist on TZ1. I'll show you how to send a range order right now. So if I go to the portfolio and I just open up Tesla, for example, and then I go to sell and look under order type, you'll see here I've got range. and it's showing you exactly how range orders work. And I can go ahead and send a closing range order from TZ1 itself. Those are the order types. Can you just try the platform with a paper trading account? You absolutely can try the platform with a paper trading account. If you'd like to try the platform with a paper trading account, please feel free to jump over to TradeZero.com, free paper trading, start paper trading, sign up here with a paper trading account. And what you'll see is you will see the following. You'll log in and you will be presented with a UI like this. You'll see you are accessing this application through a paper trading account. Please register to get full access. So indicating that we are currently in paper trading mode and this is not live funds. So feel free to jump in, register for a paper account and go ahead and test the platform out before then moving to a live account. Here's the watch list. You can add, remove items by clicking on the dustbin here, removing that way. And I can add by going here, adding ITRM. You can see here symbol added ITRM and it will appear in alphabetical order. You can also adjust the columns that are showing through this little settings icon here. This column selector is available amongst a number of our widgets, including the scanner. Thank you very much and hope you enjoy TZ1. Later.